Hi, my name is John Stuart and welcome to another episode of Cello Chat. Today we're going to talk about vibrato. Now, vibrato is a very advanced function and I don't want you to feel that you need to master vibrato. If you're starting off on the cello, that you need to master vibrato within 1 or 2 lessons. I think it takes a really long time to be comfortable with it, but we're going to talk about a few mechanics that might help you out. Okay, first of all, vibrato is a manipulation of the pitch. By wiggling our finger, we slightly increase and decrease the pitch, and it makes it quite a pleasant, lovely sound. Now, when playing vibrato, think about your hand being in a cone shape. Let's say, for example, I'm playing on my second finger, right? I might keep these fingers back a little bit like this and kind of in a cone shape like this, okay? Now, as far as how the finger revolves, let me move around here where you can see this a little better. You want to rotate it along the nail like this. Actually, you're on the flesh of your fingers, but you're rotating it about here, right in here. So let's look at this one more time. Right, like this. Okay, great. Now, let's talk about the motions that you make when you do vibrato. Vibrato is a combination of 2 motions. This motion, an up and down motion. I'm going to do this very big so you can see this a little easier. This motion, up and down motion, and this motion, which is kind of like drinking a beverage, right? So you're turning your forearm, right? So let's work on these 2 motions independently. So one of my favorite games to play is called polishing the strings. So I'll take a little piece of paper and I'll put it between my fingers and the strings like this, right? My thumb is behind the neck, loosely behind the neck. And what I'll do is I'll polish the strings like this, okay? So what I'll do is I'll start off wide and loose, and then I'll get a little faster and a little heavier until I'm kind of really polishing those strings like that. Okay, let's try that one more time. So wide and loose, and kind of like a basketball that's bouncing, like this, until the motion's smaller. Okay, very good. So that's polishing the string, and that's one of the motions. The other one is this rotating motion, like this. Okay, right? So what I'll do, one really good exercise, one of the best exercises I've seen for development of vibrato is this one I'm about to give you, where you set a metronome on 60, and then you get your bow, and then let's start with the first finger. And we have our bow. We want to do, let's say, quarter notes, very slow quarter notes with vibrato. So watch this. Now, when I do this exercise, I'm really looking for a few things. I'm really looking for that the oscillation is as smooth as I can make it. Not this. This is not what you want. Don't do this, please. That's jerky. We want something smooth, kind of like a pendulum swinging, right? Like the swinging of a pendulum, right? Let's try this again. Right? And I'm looking for maximum oscillation. I really want, overdo it. I really want, you know, the maximum pitch fluctuation here, okay? So when I feel comfortable with that, then I'll do 1/8 notes. Say I still have my metronome on, I'll do 1/8 notes. Now, what to do with your bow? Very often there's some sort of, you want to disconnect, you really don't want the right hand knowing what the left hand's doing, right? So for right now, why don't you just do 4 beats on one bow? Change. And the changing of the bow should not affect the vibrato, right? You want to work that they're really independent of each other, okay? Now the next step would be triplets. Then when you feel comfortable with that, go to 16s. And then you might go to infinity, which you're not really counting. Now here's the thing. When you get up to the faster levels, you make this shift from purely this motion to combining it with this motion. It's almost like shifting gears on a standard automobile, right? Like you're shifting the transmission. something happens where now it's not only a combination of this motion, it's this motion. Remember that first one we studied? Now watch this. Okay? Now, a couple other things to be aware of is tension. Tension is the enemy of vibrato. Take a look at some videos of some really great cellists. When they're going to town on their vibrato, very often the thumb even comes off the neck. Now that, one of the things you really don't want to do is grip with your thumb. In fact, when you're doing these exercises, you might try doing them without your thumb on the neck, just to make sure that you're not gripping, okay? Now, as you're doing this exercise with the metronome, don't go as fast as you can do it well. If you're looking for evenness, right? Now, also a couple of other tips and tricks. As you start going to the faster levels, the faster speeds, think about only doing the downward motion. Think about like bouncing a basketball. If you're bouncing a basketball, you're not thinking about the upward motion. You're only down, 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 right? So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking down, 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 down. The return is almost like a recoil. It'll happen on its own. It's a bounce, right? Down, 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 right? Okay, and another thing, this sounds kind of weird, but this part of my arm right here, I make it jiggle. Now I imagine that, that this part of my arm, it is in fact jiggling because I want this to stay relaxed. So as I'm doing this, I really want to feel this part of my arm right here jiggle, 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 right? And that really makes sure that there's not a lot of tension, right? You don't want tension in any part here or here. If you do, look, most of the tension from cello playing comes from the thumbs or the shoulders. Relax your shoulders, relax your thumb, like 90% of the tension will go away, okay? Well, I hope this has been helpful for you. Until next time, thank you for your time.